You see that guy? That guy didn't sleep last night. Yes, I was one of those people who stayed up till 3 a.m., waited for the beta to launch, and continued to stream it. Oh, let's go, baby! And streamed throughout the day. I think I played for like 11 or 12 hours straight. Went to work, came home, and played some more. We are so back right now. I have been waiting for a good modern Battlefield game for so many years now, so ever since Battlefield 4. There hasn't been anything like it. Now, was that so hard, DICE and EA? This is what we've wanted all this time. This is what everybody wanted. And we finally got it. It's amazing that if you just listen to your community and make the game that your community wishes to play, they'll play it. Imagine that. Now, there have already been a lot of videos talking about what I want to talk about, but I do want to talk about it myself, is the fact that because Battlefield is now listening to the community, hopefully this will show to the other AAA developers out there that listening to community is a viable strategy for making a video game. Duh! This is what everybody has been wanting for years. Not every game that comes out is going to be Fortnite or Minecraft. Make the game that you're good at, do that really, really well, and then more people will play that game. Stick to your niche, do what you're good at, and make a game that people want to play. That simple. Now, what I do want to talk about that I don't see a lot of people really talking about is necessarily why this game works, but it really comes down to a lot of things that pretty much everybody's been complaining about. Different groups of Battlefield fans complain about different things, obviously, but I'll just kind of go through a list of the things here that I feel like are working with this game that did not work in the past. One, the maps. You have to have variety in your maps. You have to feel like the maps have to feel like they're lived in, like they're a real place. Like with 2042, all the maps were these just giant plains with a couple of buildings scattered around here and there. All of them very massive maps, no close to medium range maps at all whatsoever. So players like me who enjoy infantry combat had nothing. We had nothing to play. Battlefield 6 or at least right now, it only has 3 maps. One slightly bigger map and then a much smaller close to medium range map. But it has a little something for everyone when it comes to maps. And that's what made Battlefield. Like in Battlefield 4, I know a lot of people don't like Operation Locker. I get that. But there are a lot of people who really like Operation Locker. If you go to Battlefield 4 and go to the server browser and look at the most top played servers, almost all the time it's going to be Locker or Metro, one of those two very close to medium range maps. You can't just deny that aspect of your community and act like it doesn't exist. You can't just make a massive large scale Battlefield game and have nothing else. The other thing that works really well is the actual gunplay itself. It's really hard to kind of just explain something like this. When it comes to gunplay, it's all about feel, so you have to play the game yourself to really understand it. But from what I've played, the gunplay feels extremely smooth. All the weapons are really fun to use. I've seen some people actually comparing this game a little bit to World War III. For those of you who don't know, World War III was kind of like Battlefield. It didn't really ever take off. The developers didn't really do a great job of scaling the game at all. There is a similarity there in how the weapons feel and interacting with the world and that sort of thing. Now, a kind of more controversial subject as to why this game is doing well is the immersion aspect of it, or the atmosphere of the game. I don't think a game necessarily needs immersion or atmosphere to be a good game. It doesn't necessarily need that, but it certainly helps. But it helps in regards to the overall direction of the game. The game needs to feel like it has some sort of direction. The problem with a lot of these AAA companies is that they outsource like their asset creation to other third-party companies. So when they send those assets back, they don't know what the direction of the game is. They don't know what it's going to look like. So when every single asset and every aspect of the game is exported to a third-party company, the game doesn't have any sort of sense of direction to it. It doesn't feel what people say lived in. It's essentially like one of those like Unreal Engine 5 asset flip kind of games, but made by a AAA company with hundreds of millions of dollars. You don't feel involved in the world, and you need that with a game, especially like Battlefield. You need to feel like you're in there, like things are happening, there's action. You want to feel that adrenaline rush. And with games like 2042, you just didn't get that, but with Battlefield 6, you do. They said with the microtransactions when it comes to like character customization and camos and stuff, they're at least saying that they're going to stick with that actual like soldier look from a modern soldier perspective, and that's what people have wanted. That's what people have been asking for. With 2042, everything felt like it was some kind of fantasy sci-fi land. It wasn't necessarily, Nicki Minaj or Beavis and Butthead, but the characters didn't really feel realistic, or it didn't feel like part of the world. I feel like they've also done a really good job with the movement in this game. I know a lot of people don't like movement, and there are actually some bugs in regards to movement. I've seen this thing where people are like vaulting over things and then like launching into the air. Things like that need to get fixed, and there are still bugs with this game. There's things that need to be fixed. There's also some network errors. Sometimes your shots don't register, or you do get shot behind cover. That does happen. But those kinds of things can be fixed. Overall, like gameplay and sense of direction with the game, that's not something that can be fixed. That's what happened with Battlefield 4. When Battlefield 4 released, it was a mess. It was like almost impossible to play. The servers were terrible. There's a ton of bugs, but the underlying game itself was so good that people did not care. They kept coming back even though there were all these bugs. And that's what's happening with Battlefield 6 right now. And in regards to other Battlefield releases, there's almost no bugs compared to those games. So the underlying game itself is actually really good, and the gameplay feels nice and it feels fun to play. And that's all a game needs to be. It just needs to be fun, and that's it. We don't need microtransactions. We don't need battle passes. Gameplay. Another thing that I hear people talking about a lot is gatekeeping. There's a lot of the Battlefield community that is kind of gatekeeping COD players and other players from joining their game. It doesn't matter who plays the game at all whatsoever. They get upset by how they play the game. You can always play aggressive. That's always been a thing. Go watch my Battlefield 4 content. I am more aggressive and faster in Battlefield 4 than I am in Battlefield 6. There was way more movement in Battlefield 4 than there was Battlefield 6. I honestly think that it's just a lot of really dumb people that are complaining about it. I don't really see why you'd be upset about other players from other communities joining your game. There's no reason to complain about that. I know that they're afraid of them changing the game to be something that it's not, but that's the entire reason why this game is even working in the first place. It is designed as a Battlefield game, and it was designed well as a Battlefield game, and that's why it's popular. If they change the formula again, it won't be popular again. They tried that with 2042 and it just did not work. So to all the COD players and anybody else who plays any other games that has never played Battlefield in general, and you're watching this video, thank you. Welcome to our community. Don't listen to people on Reddit. We want you in our community. It's kind of crazy that a lot of the games that I play are now getting way more recognition than they've ever gotten before. I actually play RuneScape, old school RuneScape, and just recently a bunch of WoW streamers have started playing RuneScape, and RuneScape hit its highest peak in players that's ever hit. I really do hope that this is a sign for the gaming community in general that we are headed in the right direction now, and companies realize that the only thing that really matters is the gameplay itself. Nothing else matters at all whatsoever. The game just has to be fun to play. I almost feel stupid for even saying that because it seems so obvious, but a lot of these companies just have been so blinded by money and trying to be the next big thing that they forgot what they're even doing in the first place. And Battlefield 6 has already hit like record numbers for peak like concurrent players. It's almost like topped the Steam charts in terms of all-time most concurrent players. And it's only going to get bigger too. This is early access for an open beta, and there's already like 500,000 plus people playing it. I don't know how many people are playing it. It can be put on the screen right now. It's a lot of people. I think in particular the FPS genre has really suffered a lot over the last probably 10 years. Ever since like Fortnite and PUBG, every game has just tried to be that. Every FPS game, and everything feels like it's kind of the same game, even though it's made by different companies. And that's just, it doesn't work like that. Video games are art, and you can't just copy and paste the same thing over and over and expect it to do well. You have to be creative, and it looks like finally with Battlefield 6 they're getting a little creative. There are some things within the game that I don't like and I wish they would change, but I'll get to that at a later date. Right now, I just want to comment on the overall state of gaming and the Battlefield community itself. I had a hard time even getting this video out because me and my editor are both addicted to Battlefield 6 and we don't want to stop playing it. So expect an actual gameplay video from me here pretty soon. I'm probably going to use just all the footage that I get from over this weekend and make one big video and talk probably a little bit more about the details of the gameplay itself within that video. But for now, this is all I really want to talk about. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate everybody playing Battlefield, and I thank you so much, DICE, for actually listening to your community. And thank you, EA, for not getting your dirty hands all over this game and just letting DICE do what they do best, make Battlefield. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in a couple days with a new video.